Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
If you've seen our first video on Spider-Man 4 theories, join ScreenRant as we drop some more theories about the sequel, and update some we've already covered. For instance, now that we know Spider-Man 4 will hit theaters on July 24th, 2026, let's start with something huge.
It's time to end this.
Dr. Doom will kill Peter Parker in Avengers Doomsday. Notably, Avengers Doomsday is slated for release on May 1st, 2026, less than 2 months before the July 24 release of Spider-Man 4. And that's just enough time for Marvel fans to process Dr. Doom killing Peter Parker before he returns to the screen for a sequel. In fact, this actually coincides with another universe-shaking theory about Phase 6, that Doom will create Battleworld as early as Avengers Doomsday, based on the comic book arc that inspired the next big Avengers event, Secret Wars. Combined with the title of Doomsday, this film could lead to an Avengers massacre, and Peter could be the coup de grace of Dr. Doom's bloody soft reboot. It would also be on brand for the MCU to do a reversal of Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark cradling Tom Holland's Peter Parker as he died in Avengers Infinity War. But if Doom kills Peter, how will he return in Spider-Man 4? As we previously discussed in the first theory video, there's a wayward piece of Venom in the MCU, which could infect Peter's suit just like in the comics. And in the case of this theory, the symbiote could not just save Peter's life, but also debut Spidey's symbiote suit just in time for Secret Wars. That said, because of the events in Venom: The Last Dance, we also know that this means that Knull may make his MCU debut in Spider-Man 4. It's currently unclear just how capable a small sliver of Venom could actually be, but it's reasonable to assume that, since it came from Venom, then it must share the symbiote's main properties, and this includes the potential to create another codex in its new host. The first codex was created inside the body of Eddie Brock, the first time Venom saved his life back in the first movie. And if the sliver of the Venom in the MCU pulls the same trick, the new codex will call to the father of all symbiotes, signaling to Knull that the key to his freedom is on a different Earth. The xenophages will come first, but Knull could debut in the middle or credit scene of Spider-Man 4. Either way, the symbiote piece doesn't even have to find Peter Parker to make it happen. Flash Thompson is already in New York as well, and if he bonds with that piece of symbiote, he could finally become Anti-Venom from the comics, while sending Knull a long overdue invitation to Earth 616. Then again, with where Spider-Man 4 is positioned in the MCU slate, Flash becoming Anti-Venom could be reversed for a later storyline. For now, there's much more potential in making Peter both the host of the Venom symbiote and the Codex. And this brings us to the next theory.
The smartest man alive, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Reed Richards will help Peter manage the symbiote in Spider-Man 4, with first steps hitting theaters on July 25th, 2025, a full year before Spider-Man 4. The MCU can finally leverage Spidey's long-running comic book relationship with the Fantastic Four in Phase 6. This could lead Peter to Reed Richards for help explaining his new suit, only to find out that it's actually a living organism from a strange universe. Moreover, it's confirmed that Fantastic Four first steps will include the Future Foundation, an expanded version of the team which Peter joined in the comics. Whatever the circumstances, Spider-Man 4 would be remiss without Peter working with the Fantastic Four, and Peter bonding with the symbiote perfectly sets up the reason for this to happen. On the other hand, there might be another character who bonds with this wayward piece of Venom in the MCU, and we're not talking about Flash Thompson. As we tackled in our first Spider-Man 4 theories video, it's very likely that Miles Morales will make his live-action MCU debut in this movie. From the Spot's powers to whatever other multiversal anomaly, there are several ways for Miles to get there. However, this long-awaited meetup between Miles and Peter Parker will need a twist, and that may just be Miles bonding with the symbiote, which happens in different circumstances in the comics. This notably hasn't been done in the other two Spider-Verse movies yet, but maybe that's because Spider-Man 4 is the best movie to do it. In fact, Miles bonding with a symbiote is also connected to the theory about Knull appearing in Spider-Man 4. Indeed, there is no other way to follow the Home trilogy without Spider-Man 4 going full cosmic or cleverly merging other Spider-Man IP like No Way Home. On that note, here's a truly cosmic theory. In relation to an update we discussed in a previous video, Sony Pictures confirmed the possibility that Spider-Man 4 could feature other major MCU heroes, just like Doctor Strange in No Way Home. And after Agatha All Along received a warm welcome from the MCU fandom, Spider-Man 4's other major MCU hero could be none other than Joe Locke's Billy Kaplan. Following the ending of Agatha All Along, Billy and Agatha's quest to find Tommy's soul may just land them in New York. While Billy finding Tommy could allow Agatha to cross over to the afterlife, Billy and Tommy, aka Wiccan and Speed, may find themselves smack dab in the middle of Spider-Man 4's events. And apart from leveraging the popularity of Agatha All Along, putting Billy and Tommy in Spider-Man 4 could make room for a Young Avengers storyline, right on time for Secret Wars. In any case, Peter and Billy are around the same age, and Peter somehow has more experience with cosmic forces than Billy. In Spider-Man 4, Peter might just be the peer mentor Billy needs in his journey as a superhero. After all, Peter witnessed Wanda nearly finishing off Thanos herself in Endgame, and considering Wanda's dark legacy, this may be something that Billy needs to hear before he becomes a Young Avenger. Indeed, while reality-bending surprises are to be expected in Spider-Man 4, the MCU's best movies are always hinged on grounded, relatable stories, and this leads to our next big theory.
What's up, guys? Forget your pin number?
Given the MCU's long-running style of very loosely adapting the comics, elements of Secret Wars are bound to appear across Phase 6, even before the actual movie. And again, this is connected to the popular theory about Doom achieving Battleworld in Avengers Doomsday. However, just because Spider-Man 4 is right in the crux of the multiverse saga, this doesn't mean that Pete can't finally have a street-level vigilante arc in the MCU. He should and he can, but it could have a big cosmic twist. As God Emperor Doom looms over Battleworld post-Doomsday, a symbiote-bonded Spider-Man could be the Robin Hood figure that strikes at Doom's government guerrilla style. Miles Morales could even bring over other Spidey variants to mount a coup against Doom, starting in the streets. It would be interesting to see how the MCU's Spider-Man would interact with a comic book accurate Sheriff Strange. Spider-Man 4 could even finally pit Peter against the Kingpin, but with Wilson Fisk as a twisted lieutenant of Doom in his new world. However it happens, a Battle World version of New York will make the perfect playground for a street-level Spider-Man story. But while Spider-Man 4 could begin in the streets, it will inevitably have to fall in line with the big picture. Somehow the sequel needs to top No Way Home, and this is why Peter will become the King in Black in Spider-Man 4.
This is something else.
Venom: The Last Dance not only killed Venom, but it also implied that Eddie Brock's journey has come to an end. However, with the remaining symbiotes opening the door for Knull to debut, this could imply that the MCU is planning to adapt King in Black. And with Eddie out of the way, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man could be a better protagonist for this adaptation. For context, the comic book arc King in Black is about Knull coming to Earth to kill everyone. It ends with Eddie getting chosen by the Enigma Force, giving him the powers of Captain Universe, which Eddie uses to obliterate Knull. As a result, the Enigma Force leaves Eddie, and Eddie becomes the King in Black, the new god of all symbiotes. In the MCU, however, it would make more sense for Peter instead of Eddie to become Captain Universe, which is also preceded by the comics. After 7 MCU movies, 3 of which are solo Spider-Man films, it may just be time for Tom Holland's Peter Parker to retire into godhood. If this was good enough fate for Loki, it's good enough for Peter. Do you think any of these theories can actually happen in Spider-Man 4? Thank you for watching Screen Rant, and stay tuned for more MCU news.